Hey, what's up YouTube? Off-Road Garage here. Today we're talking about Dixie. It's been a while since I've posted, and there is a reason. I've just been kind of busy. As you probably noticed, the hard top is on it, and the half doors are on it. But I think the last video this was in was the snow wheeling trip. A lot's happened since then. As you can see, tube fenders. We'll get into those in a second. But I put a lunchbox locker in the rear, and it was a used one, and I had it machined, and it blew up. So then I ended up putting a brand new one in there and getting that all dialed in, and that's what really took the longest time, was trying to figure out how to get the lunchbox locker in there and figure out all that. And now that's all set up. It's locked in the rear, lunchbox locker in the rear, just a Spartan one. And then I took my dad's YJ fenders and put them on my Jeep and cut them up to put these, I think they're EAG fenders, if I'm correct. But that's why the inner fender is red, because his fenders were rusty and I just needed the inner fenders. So I put my fenders on his Jeep and switched them out. So yeah, got tube fenders for it, real beefy. That took probably a few days to install. And they're not completely done. I don't have the hood latch on yet, because after that Beverly trip, where the lunchbox blew up, I just put the spider gears back in it and was driving downtown, and then we were coming back and from town, and the engine started misfiring. 2 cylinders just dropped dead. So that's what I've been fighting with, is trying to figure out what was wrong with that, which we have figured out. And I'll show you in a second. But yeah, that kind of sucked. And I didn't have the fenders on it at that time, or the lunchbox in. So after the engine did whatever it did, or I'll show you what it did. After it did that, I put the parts on. But this is how the engine sits now. There is no head on it, obviously. And yeah, half the engine sitting in the trunk. Timing chain. I spent countless hours trying to figure out what was wrong with it, and took the timing chain off thinking it's a timing, blew up, put a brand new distributor in it, which you can't see, and nothing would fix it. So then I ended up having my older brother come and pull the head off, because he said, you need to look at the head, figure out if it's a valve issue or what. So give me a second here. So we pulled the head off, and sorry, my shocks on this ain't great. And we found out the head gasket had popped between both the middle cylinders. So every time, get a better angle. So what was happening, because these 2 pistons had no compression in them whatsoever, and that's why I didn't just go and throw plugs and wires at it and call it good. I did put new plugs in it, mainly because I lost one trying to figure out what was wrong with it. But after we had pulled the head, we noticed instantly the head gasket cracked between here, and it was weird. I couldn't figure it out because it would breathe through the intake. So like when I would rev it, you could feel the exhaust go through the intake, and that's because this cylinder would go down, this one would go up, and the compression that was supposed to be building would jump into this cylinder and would jump back and forth. So it was running on 2 cylinders, because both of these ones had lost full compression. So half the engine sitting back here, or kinda half the engine, and that's pretty much how she sits. I'll latch that later. But yeah, it kind of sucked because I had some wheeling trips that I really wanted to take this on, and then the engine did that. But don't you worry, I'm gonna try to machine the head, and I think my brother's gonna come back over and help me out on putting the head back on it and buttoning up the engine, putting it all back together, getting it running again. After that's all done, we should be making some more videos. I gotta finish the fenders, the hood latches and stuff. That's why it's not done, because when the head gasket went, and I was trying to figure out what was going on with that, I put the fenders on, and I just spaced the hood latches. And I said, well, I don't really care because it's not running. It was only running on 2 cylinders. And I didn't want to run it up and down the road on 2 cylinders because it was really boggy. And I didn't want to screw up something if it was like a valve or a camshaft issue. I was worried that the cam lobes went flat and running it would spin a bearing or something. I didn't want to rebuild the whole engine quite yet. So, but now to come to find out, I could have just kept on running it. I just would have got crappy gas mileage and would have been boggy. But I don't really care. I just want all the cylinders firing right and running good. So that's the plan. Machine the head, get all the gaskets, reseal it. The intake's sitting back here. Which I don't think I ever made a video on. These fuel injectors are 6-cylinder injectors for more horsepower, and this is a 6-cylinder 4.0 high output throttle body that I put on there for. They say it gives you more power. I felt like a little bit power gain. I don't know if I ever mentioned that, but that's the most I did to the engine to make it have more get up and go, I guess. But yeah, so it's been a rough couple years, or a rough year for this Jeep. First, the transfer case blows up, or the rear axle drops the drive shaft, which takes out the transfer case. Fix that, then I put a locker in it, and then the locker blows up, and made it where I had no power in the rear end. The drive shaft would sit there and just spin. And I don't know if I ever said, but the water pump blew up the second I bought the Cherokee. So it's been a rough year for this Jeep. So I'm not surprised that I'm running into a couple issues for how I wheel this thing. But we'll get her going again. Hopefully make some more videos, more frequent videos. But we got some trips planned this year, and I'm hoping to get this Jeep fixed in the next couple weeks and start taking it off-road again. So that's the plan. Hopefully it all works out and I get it going again. But I just thought let you guys know what's going on with the Jeep, and let you guys know that I'm still here, still make videos. It's just been a long couple months of trying to figure out what's wrong with this, fix a couple things on the Cherokee, and between that and other things. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Off-Road Garage.